What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today, we have a lot of great information for you guys. It's going to be a really busy Thursday, so lock in. Make sure you check out my channel for all the videos and updates throughout the day. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into it. Rebellion on Twitter has announced the North American launch date for Rogue Trooper Redux. So here's what they had to say on Twitter. We're very excited to announce that Rogue Trooper Redux on the Nintendo Switch will launch in North America on October 17th. Hashtag Rogue Trooper, hashtag Nindy. So pretty cool that they're going to be launching this game then. Let's go over some of the stuff about this game because this is a very interesting title. Apparently it was like a 2006 or something like that PS2 title, and it's being remastered for the current generation of systems: PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So let's get into some of the features here. So pioneering tactical shooter and landmark comic book adaptation, Rogue Trooper is back, remastered and revitalized in true high definition. Experience acclaimed combat and explosive third-person action in this BAFTA nominated tale of betrayal and revenge at the far reaches of the galaxy. You are the last GI, bred for war and betrayed by your superiors at the Court Zone massacre. You stalk the battlefield as a one-man squad carrying a sentient biochips and 3 fallen soldiers in your rifle, pack, and helmet. Your mission: fight your way across the chemical blasted wastes of New Earth, a planet ravaged by an endless apocalyptic war in search of the traitor general and payback. Here are more of the features. Rogue Remastered. A classic returns with HD graphics, remodeled assets, dynamic lighting, enhanced geometry, new special effects, and more. New features also include modern controls, extra difficulty settings, and a revamped cover system. Then they also have cutting-edge combat, online co-op as well. So it says test your mettle in online co-op for up to 2 to 4 players, and relive the events leading up to the main campaign. Defend your position against incoming waves of deadly Norts in Stronghold, or fight your way to safety in progressive mode. Then there's also a acclaimed campaign. Fight your way through 13 expansive missions in a diverse campaign penned by famed writer Gordon Rennie. And then you also have enhanced abilities. Your biochips aren't just there for conversation, they are your tactical edge. Gunner turns your rifle into a sentry gun and boosts your accuracy under fire. Helm offers tactical advice and distracts enemies. Bagman can manufacture custom ammo, salvage parts, upgrade weapons, and even lay minefields. So this game is looking pretty exciting with all the stuff that they're adding to it. I remember briefly about this game back in the day, but it never interested me because I wasn't into the comics, and the character design, to be honest, I'm just not into that. Like blue dudes like running around, like it just doesn't look appealing to me as far as back then when I first saw the game. But at this point, I'll definitely try it out. I'll definitely see if I can get a review code for you guys, test it out, because it seems like a game that doesn't quite come to Nintendo Switch so often, and I think these type of games should definitely be at least highlighted somewhat, because these are the type of games that would be cool to have on the system with online co-op, shooting gameplay, whatever the case is, third-person shooter. So it does seem like it'd be a pretty cool game, but yeah, we have to test it out, see how it works out, especially because this game is quite old. It's a PS2 game, so let's see how they modernized it and put it into today's day, because PS2 shooters don't really fit in today's modern shooter framework. So we'll see what they did in order to modernize it and make it more playable in today's standards. So what do you guys think about Rogue Trooper Redux for the Nintendo Switch? Will you be picking it up? Will you be waiting for some reviews? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here, we have a story on how Sony always wins, baby. No, I'm joking. We're going to be talking about Knack 2 and how it bombed at apocalyptic proportions in Japan. Yes, this game really flopped because this game did come out in Japan in this past week's Media Crate, and we talked about Mall vs. Capcom Infinite bombing, so we're definitely gonna have to talk about Knack bombing as well. So Knack flopped so hard in Japan that no one even noticed, according to PushSquare.com. As always, the Japanese sales charts released yesterday, spotlighting the top 20 software releases in the Eastern region. Japan's studio sequel didn't even make the grade, and very few were even aware that it had launched during the tracking period, September 28th, in the nation. In fact, so badly did the sequel do that it wasn't included in Famitsu's top 30 either. You have to turn your attention to Dengeki to get a rough estimate for the platformer's launch sales. 2,106 units. This was less than 1% of what the predecessor sold, although it's worth remembering that Knack was bundled with every PlayStation 4 unit in Japan. Still, these kind of figures are disastrous. Ironically, the game actually fared even so slightly better in the UK, where at least launched at the 12th position before disappearing off the face of the earth. All was predictable, of course, despite it being a much better game than its predecessor. Was there anyone in the world that was clamoring for a new Knack? No. So it's interesting that this game even came out, that Sony even wasted their time, their money, or their effort on actually making the game better from the original. Nobody was asking for Knack 2. It's a very silly looking character with gameplay that, while it's okay, there's nothing really stand out about it. There's nothing that they do that really innovates. And coming from the Sony Japan studio, you would expect a little bit better than to be forced into making something like this. Now, I personally feel what they should have done is probably made a sequel to Freedom Wars. That probably would have been a better thing to do. That probably would have gained a little bit more traction on the PlayStation 4. You don't have to make it, oh my gosh, the greatest graphics ever. It just has to be a good bump over the PS Vita game. Maybe even it's around PS3 level, something like that. Just make it shining 1080p, whatever the case is, 4K on the PS4 Pro. And I think that would have done a lot better, and probably the budget wouldn't have been too much higher than Knack, in my opinion. If you're just taking like what you're doing on the PS Vita, maybe you just make it a single player experience. Don't worry about the whole multiplayer and all that to increase the cost of the game. So I feel that's what they should have done instead of going with Knack 2. I would have been much more interested in a Freedom Wars sequel than this game here. But I had to talk about this because Sony always wins. Because Sony always wins, baby. So I had to talk about this. But no, I mean, the thing with Knack, guys, that was a really bad decision that they made as far as Knack goes. And they should definitely be held accountable for that as far as making that decision with Sony Japan Studios. I think they just wasted a good year and a half to 2 years of their time. Instead, that could have went into something much better. I'm not sure who thought at Sony that it would be a good idea, especially because Knack was critically panned. People were not going to buy this game. After that first bashing of the game, the review scores were just horrible. So Freedom Wars would have been a much better example to go off of. But what do you guys think about Knack 2 completely flopping? Pretty much going to be worldwide at this point. Japan didn't even make the top 30 sales. I mean, that is really bad. That is way worse than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. And does Sony always win? Let me know about that as well. Alright, and moving on to the last article here. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Twitter update is live, and this one's pretty good for October 5th. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Today, Monolith Soft shared a video showcasing an element from the battle system called Button Challenge. The official English name is to be decided, but it might be Button Challenge, who knows. So this occurs when a blade uses a special move, and all you have to do is press the button with the right timing in order to increase the power of the move. You also get complimented by a mysterious narrator voice, voiced by Kentaru in the Japanese version, who shouts out things like cool or excellent. And looking over this, this is so cool that they put this in here. To me, not only does it lighten the mood of the whole combat with the narrator and then also doing this little dance and they're pressing the button, but it reminds me of the tried and true gameplay that you saw in Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X, which Xenoblade Chronicles X I was playing a lot of last night. Make sure you check us out on YouTube Gaming. But yeah, man, it's the whole soul voices, it's the whole affinity that you build with your partner as far as in the different games, and I absolutely love that about Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade Chronicles, and I'm so glad that they put that back into here. Now, we've seen this button challenge before. This is not the first time that they've showed this off. During the E3 presentation, they showed that off there. Then we've seen it a little bit more, but this is the first time that they've actually detailed it, and they talked about the narrator adding the cool and the excellent. That type of stuff I absolutely love. And like I said, this game with Xenoblade Chronicles, I love the most about it. I love like the tone of the game. It's a serious game, but it also has those playful elements to it. It's very colorful. I'm liking the colors and the vibrancy and more of the style over Xenoblade Chronicles X. It really harkens back to the original Xenoblade, and I think that's why this game is really a mix of the best of both of them when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X. You're going to have that huge, real open world like Xenoblade Chronicles X that you love, but at the same time, you're going to have those aesthetics, the style, and you're going to have that gameplay, that story-driven narrative that you had in Xenoblade Chronicles. So I think this game is probably going to be the best one out of it. Now, we do need to see the story. That's obviously going to be a a big part into it. People really love the story of Xenoblade Chronicles as far as that goes, because we know the gameplay is going to be solid. If you love Xenoblade Chronicles, you know Takahashi and crew, they know what they're doing with the gameplay. But it really is going to come down to the story. It's going to come down to the extras, the bosses, things like that. And I'm not really worried about the gameplay, bosses, extras. What I'm really kind of like concerned with is the story and how it's going to stack up in terms of, is this going to be the best Xenoblade game? You know, and I've looked at the story as far as what they've announced so far. I've rewatched that trailer that they showed off for the September Nintendo Direct over and over. I think I've watched that thing like 10 to 15 times. And to me, the story is stacking up to be just as good, if not better, than Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, it's going to be hard because people love Shulk and people love all the characters in that game, mainly Shulk. People really love Shulk. But I do feel that Rex and Pyra and the different characters that they have in this one have a chance just based on what they've shown off so far. And some of the designs, like I said, look really cool. So we'll have to wait and see for the full details. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 comes out December 1st. We're going to be having a ton of live streams of the game. We're going to be talking about it leading all the way up until launch. We're already in October. We got Fire Emblem Warriors. We got Super Mario Odyssey this month. So it's going to be a lot of fun leading into it, guys. So let me know what you guys think about this whole button challenge when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch. I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered in to win some prizes. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and prize eShop tournaments. Plus, also check out us on YouTube Gaming and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence. Very similar to Twitch, where you can earn emotes and other cool prizes in addition to getting in on game sessions as well. So check out us on YouTube Gaming and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence on there. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Nintendo, and Japanese gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.